My name is Carson. Welcome to Thrifty Garage, a channel where we do everyday repairs, how-tos, and reviews. And in today's video, we're going to take a detailed look at this reversible bucket coupler. This is manufactured and produced by Excavator Couplers. Jake and Jeff Petro own an excavation company, and they saw a need with the Bobcat hydraulic exchange system and the inability to reverse your bucket with them. So this is an intermediate attachment that allows you to reverse your bucket around and get dual functionality out of your bucket using it forward or reverse. And pretty sweet little system. So we're gonna take a detailed look at this, unbox it, show you how it came in the mail, and talk about price, and we'll give you a discount code at the end. So this box is very heavy. We've got a sticker here that says heavy package over 70 pounds. Definitely a beefy boy. So check that out. We got some plywood in here. This is the best packaging I've ever seen, and rightfully so. This is a very heavy product here. Got some packing peanuts. Nice paint on here. JP. Man, this is heavy. So here it is, and it comes with a pin. So we got some smashed peanuts in here. We do have a damaged corner here. So you know, great shipping idea. Very heavy package, heavy duty packaging too. For this, you know, I think their website says how much it weighs. It's a stout unit. Let's go ahead and unbox our pin here. This thing is very well done as well. Where's that? Boom. There's our pin. So because this is an intermediate attachment, meaning it goes between normal attachment and the machine, we need a second pin. So the machine that I have has the hydraulic exchange, the Bobcat quick attach, and those pin system essentially acts as a pin, but then we'll need to pin this to the bucket. So we got a pin up here, a pin down here. As you can see on this little infographic up here, we've got our traditional bucket attached to the machine, and then with the reversible bucket coupler, you're able to invert that and have it face the opposite direction. Let's go check it out and give it a try. Here's our reversible bucket coupler. And the way this works here is we've got this big J-hook, and that J-hook needs to slide in here. So you've got this little tab right here, and that slides underneath that portion of the bucket, and that's actually what the bucket uses to hold it on. It's got so really you're not using this pin or these pins to hold it in place. Really what's holding it in place is this action of sliding it underneath here and sliding this big hook underneath here. So that's where the Bobcat exchange system, their quick attach system, gets its strength from, is that sliding motion. And obviously we just need to slide this pin in here. Okay, now that is ready to go. Now we can hook up with our normal pin system right here. Stick the pin in there and hook this up. I have used this a couple times now, and I think the hardest thing with this is this changes the angle. So you can see here, this hook's kind of a downward shape, and this hook's almost the opposite direction. So really having this bucket tweaked up would make a huge difference being able to hook on. I think I read somewhere they recommend using about 3/4 reach on your machine, but any way you can curl this out more makes this connection a lot easier. We're just gonna grab this little railroad timber, rotate this forward. That'll make the connection process that much easier. Now this is attached. Now all we have to do is hook on here and use our hydraulic exchange pins, push them out through here. We're good to go. Okay, so we'll use our exchange here. We'll release this pin. Drop this one down. Extended as would be optimal here, but the biggest thing is getting this on the right angle. Okay, now we got to push it into that J pattern. Push down and lock our bucket. See here, we're not fully seated in there, so we need to get that lined up before we push out the exchange button in order for that to come out all the way. Here we go. And we got the other side. Pop out this side. Come on now. Perfect. Okay, we're out of the way. Now we're good to go. Okay, well, that was difficult. Okay, in order to take it off, we'll do the opposite. We'll release our pins. Now we'll slide up our J. We can turn it over. Okay, there's our reversible bucket. We've already used this on a job, so maybe we'll throw in some footage of using this. But just using this a couple times now, my initial thoughts and feedback is these pins, for whatever reason, are slightly more difficult to get in here than they are a traditional bucket. So I don't know if the tolerances are tighter on a normal bucket, but it does seem to be a little bit more difficult to get these pins lined up. And I think comes with that just some user experience, which I don't have at this time. These hooks do seem to be a little bit more elongated than these hooks, but that really doesn't affect anything that I've noticed, because that's simply where this little hook hooks on here to kind of pick up the bucket, and then that's where this J hook kind of slides into place. And really this pin is the integral piece. So as long as this pin is put in place and it has this little bar right here to put pressure against, that's really what holds the system together, as well as this J hook on here hooks around. I think there's like 3 welded plates inside there. That's where the strength comes from this unit. Like I said, this thing is super stout, super heavy duty. You know, I think the biggest worry with doing this type of attachment system is if this is not heavy enough duty to withstand the pressure the machine and the bucket put on it. The bucket's got extra leverage now, so it really has to take a lot of extra weight, and I don't see a problem with that so far. Obviously we'll put it to the test, put it to use. We'll update you if we have any problems like that. But yeah, as far as the connection, as far as connecting a traditional bucket versus connecting this, there's just a few more steps, and like I said, a few tricks that I've learned
is prop that bucket up a little bit more, because it does change the angle. I think part of the reason it changes the angle is they have to notch this right here in order for this to fit the way it needs to fit. And I'm sure that they probably did some ergonomics and engineering to make the bucket work well in the inverted position. So the bucket is at a slightly different angle. Hopefully they kind of took that in consideration as far as what's going to work operational wise in using it, scooping it up. It's almost kind of like using a skid steer bucket. You know, a skid steer bucket scooping forward. Flipping this around allows you to scoop forward and dump forward. Use that to dump it into a concrete buggy, scoop it up against a house with tight tolerances, and so far it's been great. So the nice thing about this attachment is, unlike this attachment, we've got hydraulic hoses, we've got grease zerks and all that. This thing is just pure functional. It's like a bucket. There's no maintenance. You just grab it and go and use it on the job. And it's light enough that you can throw it in a wheelbarrow, you know, move it around the back of a truck if you need to. Okay, well, that's enough about this thing and use here, kind of a initial use and initial experience. Let's go back to the video and show you some of their pamphlets.
Let's take a quick look at their little flyer they sent out, a little bit more about the company. We'll just show you this briefly, and if you want to read further, you can definitely check it out. And obviously, you can check out their website as well. So here we've got a little trifold marketing brochure. Inside here, we've got their install procedure, which we'll go ahead and show how to do. But basically, just flip the bucket around, put the attachment on, throw the pin through the attachment, hook on with the traditional method, either manually or with your hydraulic exchange, and then just double check to make sure you've got a secure fit. Here's some benefits for use: backfill, save material, efficiency, excavation, go underneath utilities. And then here's a little bit about the company. Again, Jake and Jeff Petro are the owners of JP Operations, and they created the JP Excavator Coupler. And if you don't have a Bobcat, you have a John Deere or Kubota, they are working on manufacturing reversible buckets for those as well. Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks on this and talk about costs. Cost on the website right now is around $1,400. Shipping for me was about $150. So that puts this coupler a little over $1,500, including tax. With our Thrifty Garage discount code, you can get 10% off, which you'll essentially be saving on the shipping. You'll save about $140, $150. So I'll leave a link down below in the description to purchase this, as well as the Thrifty Garage discount code. But yeah, we'll be putting this to use, putting this to the test, like all of our other attachments, going with our Bobcat E35. Really trying to put this stuff to the test and share it here on YouTube, the good and the bad. So any problems we have, we'll be showing it. But I don't really see that being a problem. It looks like a stout unit. It's very, very heavy. I guess that's the biggest complaint I have, the biggest disadvantage, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So we will be connecting this up, hooking it to a bucket, and using it on some jobs, and showing you how it works, and see if it's worth the cost for you. Well, thanks for watching this review on this reversible bucket coupler. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was at least useful and informative. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, hit subscribe down below, like the video, leave any questions or comments, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching Thrifty Garage. and your discount code is ThriftyGarage for 10% off.